How is everyone today? This is Tammy Morrison, and it looks like I am live. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, wow. This is amazing. Sunday. Thank you so much for joining me for Sunday service. So today is Sunday service with the Morrisons, and I'm so grateful to be here. And if you are here watching me, drop in the comments in the chat if you're on YouTube where you're watching from, because that is like the most amazing thing to me, is to see people watching from all over the planet. So without further ado, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Tammy Morrison. I am an angel intuitive, which means typically that I have a connection with my spirit team to help to guide people into their greatest them. So my main mission is to help people to return to their own self, to return to their soul, to connect to their soul. That is really what I'm here to do, to help people to move into this space where they're feeling good, they're not stressed, they're healed, all of these things. And so that is what I enjoy and love to do. And so that is my mission here on this planet. So today I'm doing Sunday service because I've been called to do Sunday service by spirit. And so my version of Sunday service is probably different than what you are used to, but this is what we do. So today it's just me. My husband actually came on last Sunday for Sunday services with the Morrisons, but today he has to work, so I am here. So today we're going to talk about miracles. We're going to talk about miracles, and I'm going to read the scripture about Jesus's first miracle in the Bible. So the meaning of miracle is a surprising, for a noun, a surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency. The miracle of rising from the grave is an example. Another definition is a highly improbable or extraordinary event, development, or accomplishment that brings very welcome consequences. And another is an amazing product or achievement or an outstanding example of something. A machine, which was a miracle of divine, a miracle drug. It was a miracle that more people hadn't been killed or injured. These are examples of the meaning, the definition of a miracle. And so I wanted to actually come on here and talk about miracles because so many people love to have them, and we all do. I included me. I love to have a miracle, but you don't want to live from miracle to miracle, because it might be far and few between when you get those, because they're not, they're unexplainable. That's why they're called a miracle. So I'm going to read John 2, which is when Jesus made the water into wine. On the third day, there was a wedding at Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. And when the wine was all gone, and Jesus also was invited with his disciples to the wedding. And when the wine was all gone, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no more wine." Jesus said to her, "Dear woman, what is that to you and to me? What do we have in common? Leave it to me. My hour to act has not yet come." That's reference Ecclesiastes 3:1. His mother said to the servants, "Whatever he says to you, do it." Now there were 6 water pots of stone standing there, as the Jewish custom of purification, ceremonial washing, demanded, holding 20 to 30 gallons apiece. That's a lot of water. Let's see. Jesus said to them, "Fill the water pots with water." So they filled them up to the brim. Then he said to them, "Draw some out now and take it to the manager of the feast, to the one presiding, the superintendent of the banquet." So they took him some. And when the manager tasted, now the King James Version says, when the ruler of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine and knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the water knew, the governor of the feast called the bridegroom. And when the manager, this is the Amplified, y'all, which is the one I was reading. And when the manager tasted the water just now turned into wine, not knowing where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew, he called the bridegroom and said to him, "Everyone else serves his best wine first, and when people have drunk freely, then he serves that which is not so good. But you have kept back the good wine until now." So not only did Jesus turn the water into wine, he turned it into good wine. That is important. So when you get a miracle, it's not going to be something that's ordinary. Generally, it's going to be something extraordinary and something that is big and something that maybe you couldn't do. That's typically how that works. So, and that's what they're describing here. Then the first of his sign, miracles, wonder works, Jesus performed in Cana of Galilee and manifested his glory by it. He displayed his greatness and his power openly, and his disciples believed in him, adhered to, trusted in, and relied on him. Deuteronomy 5:24, Psalms 72 and 19. After that, he went down to Capernaum with his mother and brothers and disciples, and they stayed there only a few days. Now the Passover of the Jews was approaching, so Jesus went up to Jerusalem. There he found the temple enclosure, those who were selling oxen and sheep and doves, and the money changers sitting there also at their stands. And having made a lash of whip of cords, he drove them all out of the temple, both the sheep and the oxen, spilling and scattering the brokers' money and upsetting and tossing around their trays, their stands. Then to those who sold the doves, he said, take these things away out of here. Make not my Father's house a house of merchandise, a marketplace, a sale shop. And his disciples remembered that it is written in the Holy Scriptures, zeal, the fervor of love for your house will eat me up. It will be consumed with jealousy for the honor of your house. Okay. Then the Jews retorted, what sign can you show us? Seeing you do these things, what sign, miracle, token, indication can you give us as evidence that you have authority and are commissioned to act in this way? Jesus answered them, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up again. Now, many people thinking that he was talking about the building. Many people think that he was talking about the building, but Jesus was talking about himself. He was talking about his physical body, destroy it, and in 3 days he would raise it up, because that is actually the energy behind what they were talking about, the words that they were speaking. And so it's important to understand and know what the energy behind the words are, because many times as a reader and as a writer, because I also write and I read as well, because I got 9,000 books and I'm reading even right now, including this one I just finished reading to you out of, which I read John 2, chapter 2. Many people, many times, you can identify the energy behind the words. And so that is what I'm asking you to do when you read these scholarly books. When you read the Bible, when you read the Torah, when you read the Quran, which I don't have any of those, but I actually was going to get one because I actually have read all of those before. I actually got them from the library when I was young because I was curious. I was that person. I was curious and I wanted to know. And I was so ingrained deep in the religious aspect from the Christian perspective. I wanted to know, what was being said in these other books, because I've read some of the New World Order translation. I've read some of the Mormon thing, whatever their book is called. I've read some of the Torah, some of the Quran, all of those things. So that's one of those things that I wanted to just actually look at, because the writing in the Quran is so beautiful and amazing. And the way they describe things is just so awesome. And that's one of the things that I feel it is different between some of those texts. So anyway, the miracle is what happened. And the thing is people already believed in him, but this was something that made it even deeper. This was something that it was like a sign for his disciples, for the people that followed him, that he was the Messiah, that he was true, and that he was real, and that he was a miracle maker, creator, that he was the Son of God. And so these are things that happen in order to prove and show to the people that he was. Now, he wasn't proven to himself because he knew who the hell he was. And so that is one of the things that I wanted to share actually in this discourse is, if you know who you are, then you are a creator. You are able to create and make miracles as well. We make them every day, y'all. We do. Every day we make miracles, every single day. You know, we make miracles. That's what we do. So if you are at this place where you're, you know, seeing things shaping and shifting in your life as if by a miracle, it is a miracle. If you are in transition as I am, and you see all kinds of things that help you to continue to believe, continue to know that God has your back, that the source, the universe has your back, that whoever it is that you deem as the deity that you serve has your back. You know, it's like when you sit down, to me, when I read, especially these scriptures in the Bible and also other texts, when I read these things, I know that God is with me and God is for me. And if God is for me, who can be against me? I know this. I know this. Now, did I always know this? No. Because for me, I can say, and I can say that now because I'm looking back and I can see that for me, I was a believer for many, many years, and I am still a believer. I still love God. However, I was an unbelieving believer, and I realize that now because there were so many things that I don't know. It's like you get to this point, and you're like, okay, here I am, and then you look around, and you're like, oh my God, well, nothing has happened, and I've been praying, I've been fasting, I've been, I've been doing all these things, I've been meditating because I've done meditation for decades. I found I had an amazing awakening where I was able to see, and open up to gifts that I had and all that kind of stuff. But I've been meditating for years. And I was like, in this place where I've been praying, I've been meditating, I've been fasting, I've been speaking, I've been affirming all of these things. I've been doing these things. But I was like, nothing is moving and nothing is shaking and shifting. And I don't know, what it is I'm supposed to do. Has anybody felt like that before? Has any of you felt that way? Because I'm telling you, I felt that for years, and so I was really an unbelieving believer. And there's so many people out there just like that, just like me, like I was an unbelieving believer. Because you see so many things, and then they preach against so many things, and what they're not, a lot of times in religion and in church, they preach on things that they're not up on, and so they don't, and they preach it down. To be honest with you, I would love to go, and I plan to go to Dr. Michael Beckwith's church, because I really love the way they run things at 𝐓𝐾𝐈𝐒, because I believe that's how church should be. We should be open to all of the things of God, and not closed-minded, and not, looking at things just because you've never seen it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And this is something that I see is so prevalent in religion. It's like, people, if you don't see it, you don't understand it, then it's not right. It doesn't exist, and you're wrong. And I get so, so many things, so many times people have come from me with that. And what I say is, you can come with me, but you better come correct. Because one thing about me, I love God and God loves me. So that ought to give you a pause right there. But anyway, miracles. That's what I'm talking about today. So miracles are here for us. Miracles are here for us. But do we want to have a wedding and always have to have Jesus turn the wine into water into wine? Or do we want to just already fucking have the wine? You see what I'm saying? It's like a perspective and a thing that we need to do to shift and to move and to do the things. Do we want to live like that? No, we want to live in flow. We want to live in flow. Do we desire miracles? Hell yeah. I desire them every day. I expect miracles every day. I do. To me, it's a miracle that I get up every day and I can walk and I can move, because I had so many back injuries and stuff. But that to me is a miracle that I can move and I can dance and I can exercise and all these things, because of all the different things that I had happen in my career. I've injured my back at least 3 times, probably really more. Sometimes I didn't report it, but most of the time I did, because I wasn't playing. But yeah, so when I think about that, to me, that's a miracle. And so what you have to do is decide, what is a miracle for you? You know, we can experience them every day. We can. It really determines your perspective on that. That's what it determines. Hey, good morning, Barbara, an unbelieving believer. Christianity has failed the public. They do not understand any of the depths of the meaning in any of the texts. Almost all of the religions have failed to teach about how to connect to the divine. Barbara, you are absolutely right. 100%. And that is why we are here, because we are here to help people to learn how to connect to the divine and to really, truly trust and believe in God, because that is really where I am. And that is really where I want to bring people, because I need people to do that. And I know that I'm here for that purpose, because I understand religion, because I was raised in it. Pentecostal holiness religion for a long time. And then non-denominational, which with the Pentecostal flair is what I call it. But yeah, same thing. And it's like, you know, people want to, you know, I don't know if people want to stay closed-minded or if they're just afraid. I think sometimes it's the fear that keeps them stuck. You know, sometimes it's the judgment, because that really is huge, because people are so freaking judgmental and it just makes no sense. And I, for one, I'm not here for that. And I don't even care. But I am just loving the fact that we can come together and we can grow and we can learn these things. And so that is one of the reasons why I've been called to do Sunday service. And so I bring in some of these scriptures and stuff so that you can see from that perspective. And like I said, I really, truly am going to get some of these other texts, because I want to even talk about those as well. Because, you know, God is so huge and so abundant and so magnificent, you know, that it's a shame to keep him in a box. And that's what I truly believe that religion has done. Kept God in a box, kept us from some of the real true meanings and some of the real true things out of fear. You know, and I know that for my people, they use that thing to enslave us and keep us enslaved even in our minds. I know that. And I've received that from my guides. So I know that. I know that. It's like, who was it that Karl Marx, I think it was Karl Marx, yeah. It was Karl Marx that said religion is the opiate of the masses. Because what it has done is dull people to sleep. They're fucking sleeping, and it's time to wake the fuck up. Time to wake up. Because sleep time is done. Now it's time to wake up and be the light. And so I know that I'm speaking to my people that are in the light and that are working with light. And I know that darkness is also there, because can you have darkness without light? Not really, right? So you have to move through the darkness. And sometimes the dark places are where you're going to grow. Matter of fact, 9 times out of 10, the dark places are where you're going to grow. Because if you think about it, the plants grow in the dark places. The roots are under the ground. They're in the soil. So they're growing in dark places. That's how they're going to grow up and, you know, and produce fruit, you know, and produce the things that we desire. And this is the same way in our life. When we entreat and we go into the darkness and we realize, because you know what? Darkness is not easy. It's not, oh Lord, I think I had a few dark nights of the soul, and my God, those were not easy times. But when I came on the other side of it and I could see and I could look back, and then as I went through in a different space, in a different perspective, and this is what I wanted to talk about today. When you go into it in a different perspective, it's going to turn out differently for you. And so that's one of the things that I truly believe is here for us. I truly believe that. I know that we are here, you know, and I know for myself, I'm here to make an impact in this planet. I'm here to be the light. I'm here to open doors for people. I'm here to shine the light on shit. That is why I'm here. And so super grateful for this space just to be able to come and talk about this, because I know that people are needing to hear this, and people are needing permission to awaken, permission to open up to all things of God, and not just little things, you know, not just tiny, teeny, tiny little things, you know, because I don't understand, you know, if you have the opportunity to commune with a God who loves you so much, or with the source or the universe or whatever the hell you want to call it. For me, I call it God. But when you have a choice, a chance to commune with God, why wouldn't you take it? Why wouldn't you take it? Because you think you have to go through a pastor, a bishop, a priest, a prophetess or a prophet or whatever. You think you have to do that. Because when I was in the church, I was ordained a prophetess a few times in a few different churches. It's like they called me out as soon as I came in the door almost. So my thing is, okay, that's fine. That is okay. But as you begin to open up in your life and you begin to see how large and big and huge, not this tiny little thing that can't do nothing, because that is what I saw many times in religion. It's like, you have God and, we pray and we meditate and we, bring people forth and all that stuff. I used to do prayer ministry on the phone, so I used to pray with people on the phone and they would get healed. And I knew that that is what I was supposed to be doing. I knew that. I knew that I was supposed to be a walking prayer, and that's what I have become. And I'm praised the good Lord for it. But that's what I am. I am a walking prayer. And so if you are at that place where you are wondering and you're like, oh God, I don't even know where I want to go, and I don't even know what I need, then maybe reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation and see if it's anything that I have that can help you. And yeah, and so we can go from there. But when you are looking at your life and you are wondering, where is it that I'm going to go? Even though, I may be at the top of the food chain, because many of our ladies that I've spoken to, they are like at the top of their food chain in their business or their life, or they have, jobs that are super sized, 6, 7, 8 figures, this, that, and the third and all that. But they still are at a place where, something is missing. They may have beautiful families, husbands, children, all that stuff, but there's something, and typically this happens toward the Middle Ages, but the time that we're living in now, things are speeding up. It may be happening to you in your 30s, but typically I'm looking at my ladies in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, like that are like, I don't know what's missing, so reach out to me. Let's have a conversation, because this is exactly what I specialize in, is helping you to connect to your soul and helping you to connect to your soul mission and helping you to dive deep into the being of who you see yourself in your mind's eye, because we all see ourselves in our mind's eye quite different than we are. We do. We have this grand vision. Many of us have this grand vision. I would venture to say most of us have this grand vision that you haven't even shared with anyone else. You haven't even told your husband. You ain't told your mama. You ain't told your kids. You ain't told nobody, because you're holding it right here close to your heart, right? Many of us have this vision. So what I'm saying to you now, I'm screaming to you now, it's time for you to bring that out. And it's time to begin to move yourself in the direction of your dreams, of the things that you desire. And it don't even have to be nothing big. It really just could be that you want to connect to your soul. You want to connect to your spirit team. You want to know that you are supported by spirit. Because for me, I'm going to tell you, that is a huge ass thing. That is huge. To know that you are supported by your spiritual team, that's huge. That is huge. And it can be a process as well. But to be quite honest, it is a simple thing. However, when we start to peel away all of those negative beliefs and all those things that you believe that somebody told you, and I always give this example. I always give this example of the bacon, and I have to share it here too because it's coming up. Yeah, exactly. Karl Marx hated God, but his quote was spot on. Exactly. Go back to sleep, be a walking zombie. They, the demonic forces, do not want us to be awake nor connected with the divine. Dark Night of the Soul. Did you ever read? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I read that actually. That was one of the books that I was told to read by my first mentor. Yes, I did. But yes, you're absolutely right. His quote. I mean, I'm not praising him. I'm just talking about what he said, because that was spot on. You're right. And yeah, because you're right. Because it just lulls people to sleep. You know, you go to service and I used to give this example where people would take their bag of problems and shit and go up to the altar and lay them on the altar. And then they would pray and they would cry and they would beg God. And then they would pick their bag of shit back up and go right back out the door. Crazy. But I want to give this example of beliefs that transfer. So my grandmother used to cut the bacon in half. And so my mother cut the bacon in half, and I cut the bacon in half, and my daughter cuts the bacon in half. Now, she doesn't have a daughter, so, that probably stopped with her at that moment. But I said that to say that we never knew why the hell we were cutting the bacon in half. It's just what we were taught. It's what we did. This was transferred from generation to generation to generation to generation. So we cut the bacon in half. Her mama, my grandmother's mother, my great grandmother cut the bacon in half too. Now, I never met her in life, but she had, I think, about 15 kids or so. And I think she lost some in there, and, but she had about 15 kids, So she had to feed a lot of people. And back in those days, they didn't have these big pans that we have now. They had regular pans. And so they cut the bacon in half. It also cooks easier, more even. You can feed more people and all this kind of stuff. And so I think that was the reason, we found out that was the reason why they cut the bacon in half. My grandmother had 10 kids, cut the bacon in half. It's what you do. And so I did too. I only had 2 kids, and then I had 2, I raised 3. My mother had 4. So, we didn't have, 10 and 15 kids like they had, but we still cut this bacon in half. And so to me, that's one of those examples of the limiting beliefs that were passed down. And that's a simple one, but think of some of these other ones that we do that were passed down from our family lines, things that we just automatically do, because that's automatic for me. When I get the bacon, I cut it in half. And my husband actually asked me one day, why did I do that? And I said, well, my grandmother did it and my mother did it. And so that's what I do. And, but we don't know why we do that. And there are so many things just like that we have no idea why we do these things. And so sometimes we need to let that shit go. Some of the things are things we need to let go. They don't need to keep going down generation after generation after generation. Because really, when I thought about that, it was based in lack. It was based in lack because you had all these kids to feed and you were hoping you had enough bacon and all this stuff. Well, my great grandmother, then they lived on a farm, so they always had enough because they would just kill the pig and make the bacon or whatever, however they do it. Not me, but yeah. And so they always had. So it wasn't like that for them, I don't think. But you think about it as you go on in generations, and we're not living on farms and we have, pigs available just to go kill and make the bacon or whatever. It's a different whole thing, So when I think about that, that's one of those things that, we want to get rid of because it's based in lack, but did we know that when we started doing it? When I started cutting the bacon in half, 40 some years ago, when I started making bacon, did I know that? No, I didn't know. Had no idea. And y'all, for the record, I just turned 54 years old. I'm so super excited about that. Tuesday, 11/1, I turned 54 years old. So, I'll take gifts, cash apps, PayPal, whatever you got. But anyway, but that's an example of, a belief that we just bring with us. We just bring it with us, and we don't even know, why we bring it with us. We don't know. We don't know. Barbara says we have to empty ourselves and ditch our ego and needs before God will give us the miracles we crave. And yes, like yourself, I was told I might not survive the lumbar 5 operation and might not ever walk again. I was told I'd have to live with pain in my feet, and now I'm pain free because I found a God conduit in Vernal, Utah, who makes orthotics. Ooh, awesome. We need to be silent so we can hear God and obey the message. Get thee to the beach or to the lake or to the mall or to the church. He, she, they may send you on a trip to the supermarket, and there you will meet him in the guise of some homeless old lady who needs someone to buy her a sandwich. Gosh, girl, you are like right on time. You are on time, and that is truly how it is. And I'm super excited to be here to share and to speak to y'all. And Barbara is like on point, girl. You're on point. That's what I'm talking about. That is why I'm here today. Because I'm telling you that you can get a message from, just like she said, a little old woman in the grocery store looking for somebody to buy her a sandwich. I've gotten messages from people, homeless people that I blessed. God said, give them, something or whatever, and I give them something. And then they share something with me. And you know what was so amazing? This happened to me just about maybe 6-8 months ago. I ran into this lady. I was running in the Dollar Tree to grab some notebooks because that's where I like to go get my notebooks. And I think sometimes they have these cute journals like this. I went to get something. And so anyway, I was coming out the store, and this lady was there, and she looked at me. She said, "Oh my God." She said, "I was hoping that I would run into you again." She said, "Because I was out here on the street." She said, "And I didn't have a place to live." She said, "Anything." She said, "And you gave me some money." She said, "And you told me God bless you." And that blessed me so much, because I, of course, did not remember, because I am a conduit for God's love. And so I didn't remember exactly. But, once she brought my attention back to it, then I did remember. But she was like, she was like, "I really want to just thank you." She said, "Because you blessed me so much." She said, just that, whatever you gave me, I can't even remember now. But she said, "Whatever you gave me, it blessed me so much." She said, "And I just really wanted to have the opportunity to thank you." And that, I was actually in tears almost when she was telling me, because it melted my heart so. Because so many times, you never know. You see people out here, and there's so many homeless now. God, it's terrible, especially where I lived in Washington. It's just awful. Probably because the rent is so damn high up here. And, even houses, they were for a decent house, even like just a ranch. Some of them are going for $500,000 and $600,000. And so, yeah, so it's a lot of people that are homeless, and it is so sad. And so sometimes you don't know if, they're scammers or whatever. You just don't know. You don't know. So I trust my intuition, and I trust what God says. God says, give it, I give it. I don't look at it. I don't worry about it. And I don't concern myself with it, because it's not for me. That was what God told me to do. So he will handle that, and that is the thing. So I'm super, super grateful just to be here for Sunday service. And I'm thanking you for allowing me into your space. And for you joining me today. Let's see. All right, I was trying to look and see. Brian is 54. Thank you. By the way, your soul is shining clear as quartz crystal. Thank you so much, Jade. Always be positioned to be a blessing. Yes, thank you for joining me, Miss Jade. Yes, always be in a position to be a blessing. And that is really, truly my mission in life. I truly believe that. And I know sometimes my husband is supportive of me in that way, because he knows that I am, that's my mission in life, to be a blessing, to be a walking prayer, to be somebody that, if you need something, I can be there for you. That is one of the things that I love about, my life, and it's just been amazing just to be able to be in this space, where, it's a blessing. I don't have to work all the time, which is a miracle and a blessing already in my life, because I used to work all the time. And now I laugh, because I go to work sometimes and people say, "Man, I haven't seen you in a while." And I say, "Yeah, might be a long while." I have my way. But yeah, so, the thing is as we grow and as we allow ourselves to come full circle with ourselves, because that really is what we're doing. We're coming full circle with ourselves and the God that lives inside of us, because that is the thing. It's like, no external God, no God up there, over there, over there, none of that, right here, love of God shed abroad in your heart, and that's what the amazing thing is for me. So I'm going to leave it there. I appreciate all of you joining me. Thank you, Barbara and Jade and MD. I thank you so much for joining me. Those of you that joined me and I didn't see you, thank you. I'm welcoming all of the people that are going to watch the replay, because this has been powerful. It really has. And This is, what I'm called to do. And so I will see you again next Sunday for Sunday service as well. My goal is to do it somewhere around this time as well, because this time is good for me and it works. I already took my wonderful, wonderful bath. Because y'all, that is my favorite place to go, and I get to talk to God there really, really easily. I think probably because I can't move nowhere else. I can't do nothing else. I can't go and, my mind go here and there and everywhere, and I can't do all that. I just have to be. And so that is something. And that's something I'm encouraging you to do. So if you have a way, a time, a space, a way to connect with God, with your spiritual team, so that you can get the guidance that you need. Because what happens is many times if we are not connecting and we're looking to other people for our own guidance, sometimes you wonder and it doesn't work out for you because it's not for them, it's for you. It's for you to connect. And there are times in our life when that's what we have to do. It's not even an option for us because nobody else can give us what we need, but our higher self, but our God guidance, our God winks, and it's important to remember and to remain in a place of surrender, in a place of being open to God's spirit, open to the guidance from your spiritual team, from your archangels, from your ancestors. I am so super excited about having that connection in my life that I'm going to scream it from the rooftops so that everybody else can begin to get that connection. I really am, because it is just such a place to go. It's such a place. And it's such a beautiful space because you'll begin to just hear and you'll begin to get downloads and things that are going to come just for you. And the answers to questions, solutions will come. I'm so serious. And miracles, they're happening, and they happen every single day. So I hope that you enjoyed this Sunday service. I truly did. If you would love to connect, I love to connect with beautiful ladies on the journey. If you are on the journey and you would love to connect with me. I'm also doing a playing membership, and I have been wanting to do this thing for a minute. So I am actually taking inspired action and doing it. I hope before the end of the year, I should have it prepared and ready. But it's a healing membership, and I'm looking for founding members to join me. The price is $33 a month. I wanted to make it affordable so that everyone could join that wanted to. I didn't want it to be something that was super, super out of the range of people that needed the healing. And what we'll do is we do weekly healings. And then every month I'll have a drawing for all the people that are members to get a private one-to-one session with me. So you can get a private one-to-one healing session with me. So that's something that I am super excited about, but it's coming up. I'm doing a founding members launch. I cannot wait. I'm so excited about it. And then also I'm doing this 3-day healing activation masterclass series. I'm doing it the week of Thanksgiving, Monday through Wednesday. I think 7 p.m. Pacific time I'm going to do it. I'm trying to do it at a time when a lot of people can join, but I'll be doing it here same way, Facebook and YouTube. We're going to come together probably about an hour, maybe less. I try to do less than an hour, but we'll come together and do some healing. If there's something that you are looking to work on to get healed, send me a message, because I'm preparing now to do these particular healing activations during this healing activation masterclass series. I know that I'm going to cover anxiety and depression because those are huge and so many people deal with them. So anxiety, depression definitely are going to be in there. Going to deal with some autoimmune stuff like IBS. I'm going to deal with a few things because I decided that it's time. It's time, y'all. It's time. So thank y'all for joining me. Gonna pop on off now. So make sure that you're following me because I'll be talking about that. I'm actually doing a soul chat tonight. Can't even think of what it is. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Hi, Mama Dude. Thank you for joining. I'm doing a soul chat at 8 p.m. this evening with friend Asia Williams. So join us. It's going to be amazing. I guess it's 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern time. So join us. We're going to talk about energy or something. I just know we're going to talk, and it's going to be a good time, because she's a beautiful, amazing spirit. And we always come together and have good conversations. So that is one of the things we're going to do tonight, a soul chat. So join us at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And if you guys are not subscribed to my channel, my YouTube channel, make sure that you are subscribing. Let me pull it up and put the thing in the comments, because so many things are happening over there. I'm super, super excited. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to put it in the comments so you guys can jump over there and subscribe, like, and all that other good shit. So I put it in the comments, so it's there. Make sure you go over there and like, share, and subscribe. It's so many things on that channel, y'all. I have meditations on there. I have my show Straight Out of Savannah, and that's another thing. If you are changing the planet and you would like to come on my show and talk about it, I am open to invitations. So you can send me a DM, you can comment below, and I can reach out to you, whatever you want to do. But let's make it happen. I have, I think, a few more openings before the end of the year. Yeah, I think I have a few more openings before the end of the year. So sign up, because I only do I only record 2 shows a week, because it's just a lot. So anyway, but if that's something that you are doing, if you are changing the planet and you want to come on my show and talk about it, come on. Because I'm telling you, you better come on, get on the train now, because I'm going places. All right. So again, thank y'all for joining me. It's been a blast. I always have fun when I come on here, and I thank you for joining me and for watching and listening. And I hope that you got something out of it. I would love it if you would comment and let me know what you did get out of it, and how it's helping you, and also how you're going to move forward at this time. So again, thank you for joining me. My name is Tammy Morrison. I'm an angel intuitive, and I would love to have a conversation with you. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.